Hey everyone, and welcome to our festive season wrap up of the LiftUp podcast for 2025. And as a little festive cheer and a bit of sprinkle of joy for what was mom's absolute favorite season and timing of the year, for so many reasons, we're here to spread a little bit of lift up cheer just to bring that extra bit of love, inspiration, fostering growth, bringing us all together, speaking to a universal audience and language and yeah, with passion. So on this lovely note, it has been 3 months since we started this podcast. We've had two wonderful guests and our brilliant team that have driven this, I think, pretty phenomenally. And just doing for one another what we know mom would have absolutely wanted, particularly in this time of the year to uplift, to spread that little bit of, if I could say, Christmas magic and cheer. As you can see, I have to share with everybody today. I've got my Christmas jumpsuit with Santa and reindeers and snowflakes, and I've got my fellow co-host Pranay adorning a beautiful Christmas hat. So, Pranay, I love that this concept of lift up was brought to the table. And we know that in 2026, we've got so much more to bring to our audience members and anybody who would love to join in and tune and, just share with us in turn. But, lift up. We've been intentional about this as a team driven this home. I'd maybe like to ask you to share, how has this podcast actually helped you? Because I have a very clear sense of what it's done for me inside. So what about you?
Hi, Danielle. Firstly, Merry Christmas to you. You're looking great, and I love the festive spirit that you've embraced today. To answer your question, what has it meant for me and how has it helped me? The podcast has been a happy as well as a sad moment, but there's been more happy and joyous moments in it. The truth is, the first episode when we recorded your dad, I bawled my eyes out afterwards because it just brought back so many memories. But it was joyous in that we got to celebrate Sandy's legacy. And this is what this podcast is about. And it truly has helped me in my journey because it's given me this inner peace and knowing that we're doing this for the right reasons, which is about her. And that's what I hold on to, and that's what I try to bring into my everyday life with the lift up principles.
Awesome. I think to answer my own question here, I would love to share that this has been incredibly healing so far, and we've only just begun. Um, I really do appreciate reliving mom's legacy and life through not just my own lens, but through the lens of so many others that have agreed to come on board and have been on board. And, our amazing cameraman and producer behind the scenes, Vic, bringing all of this to life. I really am appreciating every part of the process that continues to keep mom's legacy alive and the stories that are shared and parts of her that are revealed to all of us that just keep uplifting. So on the signature question that we ask every single one of our guests, I'd like to please ask you, Renee, how are you lifting others up?
Well, I think before we go there, I want to talk about who's lifted me up. And what's become particularly conscious for me as I go through this journey, Danielle, is that I'm very aware of the things that bring me joy because Sandy used to always say, look for the things that bring you joy. And I've become more conscious of that. And an incident that happened last week is that I met with, some friends from South Africa who we hadn't seen in over a year. And I laughed from my belly with tears coming down my eye and down my face, sorry. And I just captured that and I just thought, you know what? It's the small things that bring me joy. And how do I then, capture that and keep that and contain that and just show appreciation for that? So that's the first part. The second part around who am I lifting up today? It's my family. It hasn't been an easy journey for us the last few months, as I'm sure many can agree and feel. but it's about how do I make an impact to those who are closest to me and use those principles of Lift Up, where it's unconditional love, inspiration, fostering growth through harmony, etc., so that I can show up as a better mom, a better wife, and a better human. How about you seeing it?
Yeah, for me, what I've found, you know, as you've rightly shared, is that many sources of joy is right. It's a life that is whole and wholesome, and um to add another layer to that in terms of mom's teachings is a sense of joy and energy and source of self. How do you lift others up if you can't apply the analogy of your oxygen mask on first? So I think, they say when you lose a parent, it's almost as if the safety net comes away. And maybe what it's supported me to do is to lean more into myself, to better understand me. What are my senses and my sources of joy? What does keep me going and ticking? How do I create a better life within, so that all the inner work that's being done, as one of the powerful lessons mom taught, I really am finding that that is extending and spilling over to whatever it is around me in the multiple facets and areas of my life that I throw myself into. So I think that's what it's kind of reinforced, is start with self and let that inner world spill out, and meeting people where they're at, and your boundaries and things like that, but just creating for a happier, peaceful, more joyful, more fulfilled center from within. So yeah, that would be me. I think out of everything that's been shared, I live in deep gratitude. I live in gratitude with that this podcast came about. It stemmed from an idea that was born out of pain, um, which talks to resilience and tenacity, and what can you do with that pain for how you channel it. Whilst this might be an intensely painful period, I really am grateful for what's come out of it, right? And maybe that is a lesson to our audience members. And please do go back and listen to our 2 live episodes on all major streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Um, there's an Instagram account that's been created. Please comment if you'd like us to share the links. But the gratitude comes in showing ourselves through this creative outlet that through pain, something amazing can be created. And for whatever any of you are feeling and experiencing during this festive period, you know, whatever you believe in, whatever it is you are feeling during this time, may this podcast have brought you upliftment. May it show you that through any pain or experiencing of what you are going through, let it lift you and rise you, and know that you're not alone, that you have community, that you have the ability to reach out. We're here, all of us on social media as well. So please do reach out to us. But I just want to say thank you. I live in gratitude. I live in gratitude for the lessons and truly this podcast. So hoping everyone, it uplifts you. It's a little gift that's been packaged and brought to you on this day of the 25th of December, 2025. To our audience members out there, who are you lifting up and how? We'd love to hear from each of you as well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, my co-host, for sharing in this Christmas festive period share.
Thank you, Danielle, and happy holidays to you and to everyone in South Africa and across the world.